All right, well, we are live. Welcome to another episode of Beyond ERP. Today, we're honored to have Manish Bhardia, founder and president of Think AI Corporation. Manish is a distinguished leader in AI, data, and cloud strategy with over 22 years of experience. Manish has made significant contributions to the technology sector as a Microsoft Gold partner, an Inc. 5000 honorary, and a past president of the International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners. A lot we'll want to uncover there, but more importantly, Manish, as a member of our peer group, SoCal IT, recently highlighted his latest achievement as a published author of the recently released AI Productivity Leap. Manish, thank you for joining us today. Let's get started.
Thanks, Luis. I'm honored to be here. Thanks, Gina.
Yes, we're glad you're here, Manish. Yeah, let's get started. How
Sure.
about with all your experience? You have like 22 years of experience in AI, data, and cloud strategy. What
Yeah.
pivotal moments or key experiences have shaped your journey in this technology sector?
So the journey started as a software developer, and I thought one day I was overworked. So I said, who is making me overwork is the PMs and management. So I became the PM, project manager. And then I realized I like technology a lot. So I cannot just be doing the talk. I need to do the coding or solutioning. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I became a technology consultant. And then just instead of just being the consultant, I said, let's create a consulting company. But what I wanted to highlight was all the technology changes, like, from client server model to web to the cloud has been very transformational. And I just love the changes in technology. So
Yeah.
just excited about every change which is coming, and I like to adapt to new changes. In fact, funny thing, I realize even I don't like to watch the movie trailer because I want to be surprised whether
No.
it's good or bad. And that very much relates to AI or our running the business also, right? We are totally unaware of what will happen next day. And same thing is technology. So I just love the new things on technology, and all the upcoming things have shaped my journey towards AI.
Mm-hmm. And and I think that is a great pivot to maybe focus a little bit more on your recent book.
Yeah.
Want to dive deeper into why you wrote the AI Productivity Leap, and maybe just from a very high level, if you can share a little bit more about why and who should be reading this book.
Yeah, so this is my second book actually. So first one was on the AI teamwork and collaboration, also on productivity, and the new one is also the AI productivity leap. So I'm more about let's do things fast, organized manner. So when I was teaching my team, I realized I can do a lot of things by writing the book, and that was the first book on productivity. When AI came, it's 10, 20x productivity. It's blowing everybody's mind with generative AI, chat GPT, and other, text to audio to text and text
Mhm.
creation. My objective on writing the book was how we can make it simple for ourselves, our partners, and our clients to understand. How I can make it simple so that they are clear on this is the AI, whether I'm going to adopt now or later. At least I have a clear idea. So that's the book is covering about how you can achieve 3x productivity leap, and it clarifies your basic concepts.
Yeah, in the same vein, for our audience and CXOs in particular, can you
Yeah.
share some of the critical impacts and concepts of AI that they should be aware of? Kind of what's trending in the zeitgeist right now that, and we'll talk about more of the generative AI models, but
Yeah.
beyond ChatGPT, what should I be knowing as a CXO?
You see CXOs a strategy document or their vision. The first thing is how you're going to react on AI. So they need to provide the strategy on AI,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just changing the workforce dynamics and the outcome or productivity dynamics so fast. They need to be knowing where they will be testing the waters, I would say, and then come up with a better strategy. Because let's understand the AI before we jump in So it's more like swimming, right? So we test the waters, and we cannot be on the outside also. So we have to try to know how good of a swimmer you are. So I would say for CXO, they need to just understand what areas they will take first. They don't have to know everything, but they need to start with certain areas.
And I know we'll talk about some of the use cases you noted in your book, but where would you say worth kind of highlighting? What should I be focusing on as a CXO first as it relates to AI? What's the low hanging fruit beyond? Is it sales, marketing? What are you seeing right now that is a no brainer for CXOs?
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, that is the essence of the book here. What I found while writing the book was there are 100 plus use cases right away for most of the organization. However, 60% of them falls under big buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Four big buckets are: first is sales and marketing, which we all know, the text, generative AI text, audio, video creation. And then that's in marketing, and then sales is next on writing email, creating draft document and all. Second is your internal operations, or let's call it customer service related operations, or back end financial or project operations. That's the second piece. I think this is the biggest area everybody can pay attention on and find where you can find the use cases.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that for all the CXOs. And then third and fourth is more deeper in technology and R&D. So one is software development related code generation, because we are a software company. We do a lot of coding, testing. That is a big area where AI is helping. And the final is R&D. You will have, instead of you deploying the human resources, you will deploy AI to do some R&D, and that is high-tech area. So these four buckets are the major area of focus. I would say just pick the bucket you think is close to you, in close to your vision, and try that.
That's really informative. Thanks, Manish. And as generative AI applications have risen over the last year in the consumer-facing model, can you share a little bit about how these models are being leveraged for innovation and productivity gains?
Yeah, so the biggest benefit all of us are finding is, big companies like NVIDIA and then OpenAI and Microsoft now and Google have been training the model long time with big data, and now it's available to us on a very fraction of the cost what they spend, right? Like they spend billions, we need to spend like a couple of like 10, $20 or $100 to try this model. So the biggest benefit we are getting is these models are already out on a subscription basis for personal use. Our focus as a business is to apply for a business. I think because OpenAI is available, Azure OpenAI is available, the power is with you. Use that, and this is a fraction of cost. So, and another thing is these are available also on private. So you're not training the public domain AI with your private data. You can keep private customer data, patient data, or internal to your company data private. And so what we have been doing is, I'll give you an example of one of the law firm, which does read 100 to 200 pages document to decide if they're going to take that personal injury case or they're going to pass on that.
Yeah.
And that is pretty private data, and it has some health information also. So we need to be HIPAA compliant. And that information can be put in a private generative AI model to summarize. And now that 100-page document is 4-page or 6-page. So that's the productivity gain of like 80%, 90% kind of right there. So, so that's the impact you can see on, or the return of investment you can see on the trying out these generative AIs.
Yeah, and as the landscape just becomes larger and larger, ChatGPT seems to be the king still.
Yeah,
it had quite a few hiccups. What are you seeing? What are you anticipating it seems like adoption, from my perspective, the internal private GPT makes the most sense for a lot of organizations. Microsoft seemed to adopt that. Any that are coming up quick? Do you think Google's ever going to rebound from their hiccups? And can you share a little bit on trends?
Yeah, I think, just in our technology industry, we have many libraries to choose from, like multiple maps, Google Maps, Apple Maps, or, in old days, there was Jakarta Maps and all. So you will have multiple OpenAI. In fact, one of the biggest use case coming is multiple AI model you're going to use in parallel, and each being specific to certain area. So you will have a sales AI which is good on certain things, while marketing is good on certain thing, and another one which is good on visual kind of scenario. So yes, I think Google will rebound. Microsoft has done well with their investment on OpenAI, but right now, whatever is convenient to you, you can use that. And even whatever model they have, it's very powerful. Yes, you need to put guardrails, so that is onus on you. But other than that, all models are right now ready to use.
Yeah, so I think that the guardrails is definitely an area. Yeah, I guess Gina, I think you had a question on that. I mean, there's guardrails might be an understatement. Yeah, go ahead, Gina.
Yeah, sure. I'll add a little bit to that. Equally as important, like you were saying, is balancing security and compliance and innovation, things like that. So we often get a little bit scared, or rightfully so, be concerned in this area. So we're trying to better understand how organizations holistically can analyze and introduce AI into their organization before turning it on. So any insight there would be great.
Yeah, I mean, safety is very important, and there are a lot of risk also. I use the analogy of, roller coaster ride. Each of us know the risk on that. We need to rely on the security procedure, and we need to secure ourselves, protect others also. Same thing is with AI, but still we go for the ride, right? So AI is like that fast, high productivity environment is going to provide you like unimaginable productivity, but then there are risks. So I would say working hand in hand with the risk team or compliance team, and making sure our internal procedures are correct and we are protecting the data. So there are ways to apply AI without exposing the data. So that should be the first focus. Let's protect the data and still get the productivity. For example, is this example of law firm where they are summarizing the data. We can hide the private data and still summarize the document, so it gives you the essence. Similarly, one of other client is using the AI for financial modeling, so we don't have to expose the actual numbers, but then we can still see the trends, and AI can suggest certain thing based on the last 3 months trend, 6 months trend, and everything. So you get the speed and the productivity and the creativity of AI, while making sure we are securing. We are not totally providing unbiased data, so it's unbiased. You are checking. We still own the responsibility of using the AI and its response, right? So we are the owner here. So what would I do if I am writing the document? That's how we have to check. And I would say creativity is one side of the spectrum, but then other is all the security and compliance. So that's where I look for my security and compliance partners. And we are going to client, we are going together and saying that I'm gonna not put my security or compliance hat yet. Let me be creative, be open without restriction, and then let's put our security and compliance hat and make sure what I'm doing is within the boundary, with guardrails, with cross-checking and accuracy in place.
And I guess in that vein, Manish, with respect to these private sets, are you ever exposing those sets to the web access? I know that when GPT went, to the internet of sorts, people, rightfully so, were pretty concerned. Is the whole notion with the guardrails to keep everything pseudo in an intranet model, or are you being asked to expose the capabilities to suck in information, or how does that work for organizations who may want to garner data sets outside of their model? Is that just a rapid update, or can you share a little bit more about how that works for?
Yeah, so for a simple use case, what happens is we have a base. I mean, let's take the analogy of cake, right? The base of the cake is made by OpenAI or the generative AI available to you, and then you're adding the icing and decoration, and that we are not exposing back to the public cloud, and that is kept secured. In fact, it's cleaned up also, in the sense you can use it in a way where you can say, hey, here is my data, can you give me the intelligence, and forget about what I said to you. That is possible. At the same time, it's kept in the private room or the private area, so it is not exposed to the public, because that's the first concern everybody has is, hey, it's my data and AI is learning and it's going to public. No, it's not. So that we can ensure, and we are able to do that.
And I guess in the same vein, the notion of bias.
Yeah.
Any model is going to have bias. How are you identifying? How are you bringing that to light? I'm assuming that there's a general consensus of the bias that's already coming before they even work with you. And you probably have quite a few just identified from OpenAI as an example.
Yeah.
How do you identify? How do you then counteract the bias in your models?
Yeah. So whatever AI you will use have its own thoughts or bias inbuilt, and that's where we will have to retrain, and we can train it to say, forget about these things, and this is the data set you use. But then your data could be biased also. So we just need to do. But at the same time, remember, this is the truth as of today also, because if a company is using certain data set or the documents or the learnings or training within the company, it's biased in certain way, and maybe it's biased for productivity or doing the business certain way. So that bias already exists. What we can ensure is, when the AI comes, we can make sure that it matches the bias or the way of doing business currently, and then you can train the AI to behave it in same manner. And more important, you have to keep monitoring that it is behaving as it is, and not going wild. Just like you monitor an employee, and in turn, you need to monitor AI. I would say AI is very, very smart intern who doesn't know much. You need to train, but it can become one of your highest productive employee.
No, absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us today and sharing about your book and your experience in the AI field. We'd like to give our guests kind of the last word. Anything you'd like to share to the audience? Any subsequent books coming or release dates, et cetera, that you can highlight?
No, I think right now the book is initial baseline on where you need to know about the AI. And then, in fact, at the closing chapter also, I say that adopt the AI, don't be away from the AI, test the waters, simply whatever use case works for you. So that is the focus. And as a business, we do help on that. So any question, definitely reach out to Louis and Gina and let us know. But what is coming up next is, I'm working on a SaaS-based, AI-based project assistant. So it will do a lot of your task on behalf of you, starting from note taking to assignment of task and follow up, and also excited about that.
Watch out, PMs. That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us today. To our audience, Nuage specializes in guiding you through the transformation optimization of NetSuite ERP. You contact our team for tailored solutions to evaluate your operations, Thank you for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue unraveling the journeys and wisdom of exceptional business leaders. Manish, thank you again. To our audience, hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.